Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Kamran Ali, and today's lecture is about tenses. I know O-level students, they don't know much about tenses because when they write their propositions, they make lots of errors pertaining to tenses. So that's why I've decided to make this video for you guys. In fact, I read some examination reports in which they were literally requesting teachers to teach their students about tenses and other grammatical items. So grammar is very important because they make lots of grammatical errors when you write your propositions. Once you have watched or listened to this lecture, you must attempt a worksheet, which I have given in the link, right? That worksheet is about correcting errors and it carries answers as well. So let's begin. All right, here we go, class. All right, if you just look at the title, it is about English tenses, right? Okay. And here we are going to talk about what are tenses. And this is a clear guide for all level students, right? It's been made by Dr. Kamran. And what are tenses? Tenses show when action happened, past, present, or future. Now, over here, you have to keep one thing in mind. It's not just about actions. It also shows a state. For example, if I say I am Kamran, right? Here, am is a tense that is simple present and it shows a state also with the verb, the form of the verb, right? That is am. So if I say it was a man, right? So here was is the past tense, but not the action, right? It shows the state, the situation, the form, the form of that entity, right? Okay, so let's go ahead now and see what do we have to study on the next page. Let me erase this one first. I will try to make it as quick as possible because I know that you guys don't like to watch long videos. Let's scroll down. The three main time periods, past, present, future. Past refers to actions already happened. So if you want to say that मैंने कल पानी पिया था, you can say I drank water yesterday, and because it has nothing to do with your present, you are not going to use simple present form or present form, the first form of the verb. You're going to use the second form of the verb, right? Okay. Then action which regularly happen, right? Okay, to show regularly happening action, right? You use simple present tense. For example, if you say that I eat biryani, or I eat food, or I eat at 12 o'clock, right? You basically telling that something which happens regularly, right? And you're using simple present tense, the first form of verb. If you want to predict what will be happening in future, you are going to use future tense. And in future tense, we normally use will and plus first form of verb. So I will go to college tomorrow. That means it's nothing to do with the present. You are simply predicting, anticipating, expecting that you will go in the future to college. Let's go ahead. There are four forms for each time period. That means four forms for present simple, present tense, four forms for past tense, four forms for future. So we have simple present, we have continuous present, or present continuous, or present simple, but we have present perfect, we have present perfect continuous. So past simple, past continuous, past perfect, past perfect continuous. Same goes for futures. Simple future, we have future continuous, we have future perfect, and we have future perfect continuous forms. When do we use simple present tense? When we want to talk about facts, habits, and schedule events, and we use first form of these noted down and use first form of verb. When you're talking about facts, when you're writing about facts and habits and schedule, for example, eat is the verb form, and eat is the past form. So you're going to eat, you're going to eat, you're going to use drink, right? You are going to use the first form, you're not going to use the past form and form, right? Okay, let me erase this one also for you guys. Let me scroll down. Here, present continuous. Present continuous means action happening right now. Situation is not permanent, and future plans. The three things. So if I want to say that right now I'm teaching you that is action happening. These days I am very busy. These days I am working hard. Now this is a temporary situation. Well, I'll be going to college tomorrow because I have used the word tomorrow here. So this is arranged future. Present perfect, it may be unspecified time. I have visited Paris. When I visited, I'm not telling that, so I have to use present perfect. And present perfect, you have to note one thing that you use, have, and third form of the verb. As you can see here in the example, they have used have and the third form of the verb. So have and third form, has and third form, right? If you're writing with he, she, it has to be has. So if she has visited Paris, they have visited Paris, right? Child has visited Paris, and we have visited Paris, and I have visited Paris. So you need to understand the subject verb agreement as well for that. Because you're not mentioning the time here, so you are not going to write in the past tense. So you are not saying I have visited Paris yesterday. You will say I visited Paris yesterday, right? And if you don't want to mention the time, specify the time, you remove the time, you have to write that sentence in present perfect. I have visited Paris. The present result, she has broken her arm. The result is here. Her arm is broken, right? Therefore, present result also you are going to use. You're going to use present perfect tense, right? Okay. Experiences, actions completed at any time before now. For example, if you say that, well, I have visited that place, it also means that you have experienced it, right? So when you're talking about experiences, right, and you recently experienced something, right, you can talk about that using simple as well as using present perfect tense, right? Sometimes you guys talk about different things and you guys say that yes, I've done this before. Well, I have met her before, right? So this is that experience. Okay, let's scroll down and see what we have next. Present perfect continuous duration to now, started in the past, continues to present. Ongoing activity, I have been waiting for an hour, and present results, she has tired because she has been studying. Now, if I say I have been waiting for an hour, right, that means you're still waiting, right? And you started in the past. And if I say, well, I've been working hard, right, you probably started in the past and it continues, right? It still goes, right? So you're using present perfect continuous. So remember, present perfect continuous when you're using this one, right? What you have to basically take care of, you have to use have been or has been, and the action verb should be in ing form, right? Keep that thing in mind. Verb forms you have to keep in mind, otherwise you will make mistakes in the forms, right? So it's not just about the usage; it's also about the verb forms and how you are going to use them in conversations. All right, so let's just scroll down. Right, let me erase this so you understand better. Okay, past simple used for actions which completed in the past. Series of actions, sequential events in past, like in his stories. You write sequential events, past habits. I played outside every day when I was young. Now remember one thing. You're going to use the time marker which shows some sort of regular activity, right? For example, every day with the past tense, when you do that, that it is past habit, right? Keep that thing in mind. If you remove every day from this sentence, it would not be the past habit, right? It was simply the past action happened in the past. Past continuous, specific past time. I was reading at 8 a.m. last time. Interrupted action, she was cooking when power went out. So when one action, happened, right? Okay, another action was going on. Background scene, birds were singing and the sun was shining. Please pay attention to the verb forms as well. Past perfect before another past action. Movie had started before I arrived. So you can see that arrived is the past tense. What happened before that? Earlier past had and was third form of it. And same rule applies here also. Past states before change. She had lived in London before Sydney, right? That means before she moved to Sydney, she had lived. So once again, an action before the past action. Past experiences, I had never seen snow until last winter. So that means the last winter was the past time, and before that, right, the person hadn't experienced this, right? So all of these situations, right, are quite similar, quite overlapping. One thing you have to keep in mind that past perfect is something which happens before the past, and what happens here that we use had and the third form of the verb. This is something very important that had and the third form of verb is used in the past. All right, let's go ahead now. I'm going to make it short. Past perfect continues during up to the past point, duration up to the past point. Sorry for the slip, guys. I had been studying for 3 hours before break. That means this action had been happening right before the past, right? Anything which had been happening, which shows that something, had something had been happening before the past, you use past perfect continuous, and you can also note down over here that the verb form is had been, and with action verb study we use ing, right? She was tired because she had been working all day, so this is continuation. There is a sense of duration, and before a past situation, right? Is that clear now? Okay, now let me scroll down. Future is all about prediction. It will rain later today. I will call you tomorrow. Spontaneous decision. I am thirsty. I will get water. Now, this is very interesting here because in Urdu, when you say मुझे प्यास लगी है, तो आपने तो मुझे प्यास लगी मैं पानी पीता हूँ, right? But in English, that's not the case. You never say I'm thirsty. I drink water. No, that's wrong. I'm thirsty. I will get water or I will drink water, right? Why? Because this is a spontaneous decision, and whenever there is a spontaneous decision, in English we use will instead of simple present tense. We use future simple tense, right? Keep that thing in mind. This is something which you guys don't realize when you're writing your compositions. Let me scroll it down further. Future continues showing action and progress at future time. So you simply assume that what will be happening in future. So this time next week, I will be sitting on a beach. So for example, you can say after 2 weeks, I will be taking exam in the examination hall. This is future continuous tense. Perfect means you assume that by that time, by a certain time, something will have happened. So by next month, I will have finished my project. By the next 2 months, right, I will have finished my, I will have, yeah, my exams will have been finished, right? Okay. Or I will have prepared for my exams fully, right? So this is how you can use future continuous tense or perfect tense. Sorry. Future completion point, she will have graduated by our visit. Future reference point, action completed before specific future time, right? For example, it's almost the same thing, right? Future reference points, for example, if I say by 29th August, right, this will have been done, right? So that's the future reference point. All right, future perfect continues, rarely used, right? But yes, it is still in use. By December, studying English for 5 years. So by December, I will have been studying English for 5 years, right? But it's rarely used in English now. Time, words, tenses. This is something very important, and you really need to keep these things in mind. Let me erase the marks here so you can see the things clearly. Uh, Whenever you are writing, you need to make sure that you pay attention to the time markers. For example, yesterday, last week, 2010, and ago, all of the time markers for past simple, never, ever, yet, already, since, for all of the time markers for present perfect, every day, usually, always, sometimes, all of the time markers for the present simple, and tomorrow, next is in the future, all other time markers for future simple. Why time markers are important? Because when you switch from one tense to another, right, you use marker to indicate that now you're talking about a different tense, a different time. So, for example, if I say yesterday I was so worried because my exams were near, and today I am relaxed, right? Because my exams have finished, right? So today and yesterday, right? These are two time markers, right? And they that um, tell us that what time exactly you're talking about in which sentence, right? So there is a shift in the tense, right? And that shift has been established using the time marker. In time marker से ही हमें पता चलता है कि इस वक्त जो राइटर है वो इस वक्त की बात कर रहा है और वरना तो हमें पता नहीं चलेगा. For example, in your composition, what you guys do, without using the time marker, you switch from one tense, right, uh, to another text, right? And that is very confusing for the examiner. All right, let's go ahead now. Yes, this is a very good topic. Tense consistency. I went to the store and I buy some milk. Please, class, this is something I would like you guys to pay attention to because I know that you guys make lots of errors like that. So here the past tense, here the present tense. So when you're writing sentences, you have started a composition, you're combining sentences, right? So you have to pay attention to the verb forms. You cannot have first form of verb and the past form of verb together, right? That means the tenses are not consistent. You cannot talk about at the same time the past and the present. You cannot say I went to the store and buy some milk. You should say I went to the store and I bought some milk, right? So those both actions, right, belong to the past. If tense is consistent within the same time frame, change tense is only when time frame changes, and that is to be indicated with a time marker, as I told you earlier. Let's go ahead now. Common mistakes with tenses. Let me erase this club. Okay. Present perfect with specific time, as I told you earlier also, if you're using yesterday and you're saying I've seen him, it's wrong. I have seen him, put a full stop here, or you write I saw him yesterday. That is correct, right? Okay. Incorrect. I am loving this book continues with state verbs because love and like they're usually state verbs, so they do not show any action. These are perceptions. So I love this book and said I am loving this book. A wrong irregular verb form. She has went. So here when has is there, we have to use the third form of verb. We don't have to use the past form of verb, right? Let me erase this. These are examples of action and state verbs. Let's have a look at them. I'm not going to read this slide because we already talked about them. Understanding verb forms, right? So we have a base form of verb like play, go, and eat, and these form of verbs are used in simple present tense, right? And then you also need to understand that whenever we use play with E, we have to add S, right? With she, we have to use add S. With singular third person, we have to add S to the word play, right? Is that clear now? All right. So all these forms, right, they do take S depending that who is the subject. Is this a singular third person? Then definitely you're going to add S. If it's the first person, you're not going to add S to that. If it is second person, no S is added to the word, right? If it's plural third person, no S is added to the word, right? So that means we play, right? He plays, right? They play, I play, we play, and child plays, children play. All right. Then we have past forms played, went, ate. There can be regular, irregular, right? Past participles played, gone, and eaten. And then we have ing form also like playing, going, and eating. Let's go ahead. Okay, here is a very important slide. It's talking about regular and irregular verbs. And class, I told you earlier also that you have to learn these verb forms by heart. If you haven't learned these verb forms by heart, especially irregular verb, right, you'll get into trouble in your exam, right? So you need to download a chart, right? Okay, I'll try to upload one and learn all the irregular verb forms by heart. Go, went, gone, see, saw, seen, being, gone, gone. You know that when it's the first simple present tense, we say we go. Past form, we went. And the perfect thing, we have gone, right? Is it clear now? But they have gone, right? Okay. I hope you have understood all of this. Let's quickly move. Um, A story can be written in multiple tense, right? Yes, past tense, past perfect, past continuous, past perfect continuous, future simple, and present simple. When you write a story, you may be including all of them. For example, simple present may be in dialogues, right? Maybe you start with a flashback, you move from present to past, and okay. Common tense errors correction. I am having a car. You can't say I'm having a car. You should say I have a car because you're talking about the possession, right? State verb is better. She has went. You can understand here that after has we use third form of the verb. I live here since 2010. The time is being specified here, so I have lived here since 2010. Since needs present perfect. You have to practice time, identify when, look for clues, time words help identify tense, check context, how actions relate to each other. And I hope you guys will not make much errors, right? Okay, now you're not going to make many errors, right? And when you have written your composition, please check your tenses and attempt the worksheet which I have uploaded. Thank you. Take care of yourself. Keep up all the efforts, right? And I expect a very good result from you.